Rodin Genof is one of the world's leading cluster experts. In the last few weeks, Rodin has visited North Jutland and the unique windmill cluster up north. Rodin, you have visited us here in Aalborg before, but it's the first time that you are focused on Hub North and the windmill potential here in Northern Jutland. What are your first impressions of the companies within the cluster?
Look, I think there's an extraordinary energy here. I've discovered that Siemens has the largest blade making facility in the world. Just down the road, also in the port of Aalborg, we've got Blood Industries, which makes some of the largest foundations for those offshore wind turbines. And surrounding those companies, we've got some extraordinary engineering, electronics, automation companies that actually put the intelligence into the wind industry. So I've been very impressed with what I've seen here in the short time that I've been here.
Thank you. And how do you see the unique selling propositions for the Hub North cluster?
Look, I think in many other traditional engineering sectors, they just might have the engineering or the fabrication or just the heavy engineering potential. What we have here in the north are a whole cluster of integrated capacities and capabilities. We've got some of the smartest artificial intelligence companies that are doing some very smart work on data integration and system solutions and programming, from everything from smart grid through to the maintenance regimes of the windmills. And of course we've got the electronics companies working with the automations and systems control companies to actually put the system to work. And of course we also have some excellent and globally competitive traditional engineering and heavy engineering and fabrication companies. Taken together, this is a strong and dynamic cluster, not only within Denmark, but I certainly think within Northern Europe.
And can you pinpoint some of the biggest challenges also for the companies and for the cluster?
I think the challenges are, there will be a Danish one. There's always going to be the issue of cost in Denmark, because it is an expensive place to make things. But on the flip side, you also have the energy of those various industry segments and that intelligent engineering coming together with the art and the science of making things. That is the competitive advantage. That's going to be all about collaboration, being able to bring the cluster together to unlock this energy, this engineering history and richness that the companies have to maximize its full potential. Many companies try to replicate clusters. You have the foundational elements here to lead the pack. That is your competitive advantage. If you don't make that investment in the collaboration and to continue your investment in the knowledge required to build that cluster, that then will see a huge challenge, because all you'll be left with then is your ability to compete on price. And once you get into that area, well, we'll be seeing that certainly outsourced.
And how do you see this transition process that Northern Jutland and Denmark and the western part of the world, Western Europe, is going through? And what are the potentials of this cluster?
I think we can just see it in the unemployment numbers. Let's be frank, we're seeing parts of Europe pushing 20% unemployment. Employment in a lot of the traditional industrial regions are in double digits. By comparison, in Denmark, we see low unemployment levels. In northern part of Denmark, we also see a low unemployment rate. That says a lot about the resilience of this industry. We've seen particularly northern Denmark move from shipbuilding to ICT, and now we're seeing it in one of the fastest growing areas of world growth is around green energy. And they've been able to do that because of the excellence in engineering, electronics and software and its knowledge institutions. Together they build the dynamism here. And that's why this region will do really, really well, because other traditional regions around the world usually focus on one capability. And given that the companies are working together to integrate those solutions, that is the advantage of this region. In fact, it's its competitive advantage.
Great, and I know you're coming back to us in August and September. What will your focus be at that time?
Look, I'm really happy to say that we've met with quite a number of companies, and around 80% of the companies that we've met with have signed up for follow-up work that we'll be undertaking as a team with Hub North. What we'll be looking at doing is to really look at the projects that the individual companies are working with, look at how we can build the collaborations between their customers and their sub-suppliers to really spin off some terrific new projects, because the work that Hub North is about anchoring new investment and business opportunities, and I'm certain that over the period between the next visits that we'll be unlocking the full potential of Hub North's members.
What do you see? What is special about Aalborg?
Look, I think as a third tier or a small city, it has so many advantages. It is a resilient city, and it's got a fantastic university. When I've been working in the UK, many companies and regions over there have pointed to the Aalborg University and the linkages that it has between its knowledge institutions and its companies. We should never ever forget that a successful region is more than just a few very, very successful companies. A successful industry is also about a successful community that works together. And what we see in Aalborg is the energy of that community, of its business leaders, its community leaders, its universities, and its companies coming together to work together on projects. And given Aalborg's industrial structure of expertise in electronics and ICT and intelligent engineering and in fabrication, we're seeing those systems come together to really provide the foundations not only for powering green growth of the future, but for really supporting those intelligent industries of the future, and particularly the technologies required to build smart cities of the future. So I think there's a lot going for Aalborg, and that's certainly one of its competitive advantages compared to a lot of other cities of its size right around the world.
Thanks a lot, Rodin, and see you again at August.
You're very, very welcome. I look forward to coming back. Bye for now.